So yeah, dude, it was 46 years ago that the Misfits got their start. Can you believe that? 50 years ago? That seems a little hard to believe. Yeah, but I mean, when I was into the band, they were an older band, just like Green Day and Rancid and bands like that. I was into them. I was second or third wave into them. Like they came back. I don't know why they came back. When they came back, it was out of nowhere. I thought it was because of me. I used to call their houses in Lodi. But like I said, they came before. That's around the time I was born. They were already going. When I got into them, it was a posthumous interest. I knew this guy that used to go to Jersey and get bootlegs of it, and he was into horror, and we heard it all by accident. The first thing I heard was Static Age before it came out. I heard it in 1988, and it had been, oh my god, it was only 10 years old then. Mm, yeah. 78, 88, that's only 10 years. How can that be? The math don't add up right. No, it does. I mean, when I heard it, it was 1988. They had played it. They had played cuts. How come that doesn't seem right. 30 fucking years ago I heard it. When I heard Static Age first, the cuts from it, it was only 10 years old. That's hard to fucking believe. That was 30 fucking something. That was a long time ago. But I heard it in 1988, and I thought it was old. It seemed like it was from the 60s or 50s. It's now. It seemed mega old because I was so young. What happened was there used to be this program that would broadcast from Harvard called "You Make Me Sick," and this guy Curtis Casella from Tang Records was the host apparently, and he had Glenn Danzig join in by telephone, and what he had done is he had lent Curtis Casella a 7-inch reel to reel, probably about 7.5 inches per second, reel to reel, to play on the air for "You Make Me Sick." It was 2 hours with the Misfits at WHRB, Harvard, Boston, and they played cuts like "Return of the Fly," "Teenagers from Mars," the original version, the uncensored version, and they played "Last Caress." Nobody had ever heard those songs. "Walk Among Us" had come out in 1982. Only, wow, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 years before. It seemed like eons. 1982 versus 1988 when I first heard it. 1982 seemed galaxies away. It was only 6 years. Wow. But anyway, so they were on the radio show doing that, and that's what they did. And I think the Misfits were at their very best when they were with, and Bobby probably knew this. They were at their very best with Frank Licata, um, Jim Catania, uh, yeah, Glenn Danzig and Jerry Caiafa. I think that they were at their very best when they were doing that political shit. They were doing that CIA, mafia, political, sub Rosa, sub fucking Vino, mafia rock. I mean, what else would you call it? It was. I know that they had known George Germain, but was George Germain an Italian that had fought in World War II against the Germans or with the Germans or whatever? Who was George Germain? Was that Bobby's friend? I think it was. But that band was La Cosa Nostra, no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my fucking mind. It reeks of it. I see it. And it takes a fucking, and the power of the signal, the the signal, the single bullet came from those Static Age sessions. That to me is the most obscene, shocking record I've ever heard in my life. It's the one where JFK, he's in Dealey Plaza, he's getting his head blown off, and the way the artwork comes off, if you look, it's dot matrix. We used to study the artwork. It looks like Andy Warhol did that album cover. And then you put the record, you put the needle on the record, and you hear 1, 2, 3, 4 presidents, bullet ridden body in the street, ride Johnny ride. Then you hear Hollywood Babylon. You know what I'm saying? And then you hear Attitude. If they put Last Caress on there, it would have been 102. And they were at their very prime. What kind of twisted mind? My dick is gonna be your desert, my cum will be your life source, and the only way to get it is to suck or fuck or be poor and devoid and masturbate me, then slurp it from your palms like a dry desert, soaking up rain, soaking up sun like a dry desert, soaking up rain, or soaking up sun. Who the fuck says that? And the thing, how they, right when they were transitioning with Bobby, it was cool too. They were still very under the ground. 525 August 5th, 1962. Found a lion on. Yeah. Who Killed Marilyn? Perfect timing with horror business. You don't go in the bathroom with me. I'll put a knife right in you, Nancy. Right back with Who Killed Marilyn? Who Killed Nancy? Who Killed Marilyn? Fucking perfect. It ain't. Yeah, dude. I got this itch on my fucking elbow that will not stop. It's driving me nuts all day. Yeah, the Misfits though. The Misfits. Now you've seen the Undead, and they were fucking great. Now you've seen all the others. But now I want you to see the greatest fucking band of all time. The fucking Misfits. You know what I'm saying? You don't say the things that they said, but they did it in such a way. Do you ever notice the bootlegs though? Like, if you're really deep into that shit, I remember the bootlegs that first came out versus the ones that do now. They're still bootlegging that shit. I don't know why. It's a labor of love. But I still got my 80s bootlegs. My bullet pressing, someone asked? Oh, no. That's 90s replica. No, I don't have the bullet anymore. No, it's long gone. I used to have that. I had a better Dead on Red for 10 minutes. I had a fucking, you won't believe what I had. I had a, let's not even get into it. I had it in a Holy Passion with, that was that Nick Esposito had got autographed by him and Erie at Saratoga Winners in '88. Again, because he was the guy that got me into it, like I said. And it was autographed, on Holy Passion. Mm-hmm. An original. Gone. That's why I don't do records anymore. Oh, yeah. I seen that girl, the Omaha introvert. She's a little hottie. And she's there in front of like 10 billion records. I got 1 million records. It's like, yeah, you do, baby. I used to, too. I had a Night of the Living Dead original press, from when the Misfits played at Irving Plaza with Screaming Jay Hawkins, and they were sold at the door of Irving Plaza for $2 a piece. They were supposedly made on waffle irons, which I don't believe. But supposedly they were made on waffle irons, and it seemed so because it was a chintzy record. But it was such a good sounding record. The recording session sounded like utter garbage. And by the time it got down to lacquer that was made on a waffle iron, I guess, it sounded really terrible. But there's something about the quality of the Night of the Living Dead sessions. Oh my god! I just thought about it. But anyway, I had a copy and I gave it to my friend Dwayne, but it broke in two, like on the way over there. Yeah, the cover was really nice though. That's what I was thinking when I gave it to him, because it broke on the way over and I felt terrible. I'm like, well, he's gonna think I'm a fucking weirdo. But I said, in any event, the cover, it didn't have the answer, but the cover alone, I'm sure he Dwayne understood that as a collector. He's like, I don't know why it's broke, but the cover alone, being that there's only 2,000 of these, yeah, it was the real deal. I had the Better Dead on Red Bullet. Yeah, it's Red Bullet, Red Bullet. What the fuck is? Put that on your turntable. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, blow your fucking stereo up. There ain't no bands like that anymore that say those things and do those things. Oh my god, it's an assault, dude. It's a vicious rape when you listen to the Static Age. And that's all you ever need to be in a band, is to have one record like that. You could have just quit right there. And it wasn't even a record till 1995. I remember I was living, finally, I'll wrap this up with that. Well, I was living in the studio apartment illegally when that came out. And I remember going to my mother asking for money to go get it. I was like 20 something at the time. I'm like, they finally put Static Age out. I can't wait. But oh, I was fucking Sue the day. Me and Sue went to go get that. And I pounded, I fucked Sue so hard that day because I was so stoked about fuck. And the collections, when Collection 2 came out, me and my friend bugged big shit. We were like, wow. Because we were trading the bootlegs for so long, and it was like, oh my god, the quality of this, I can't fucking believe it. But when Static Age came out on CD, and me and Sue were sitting there listening to the extra tracks. Okay, we're rolling. This is TV Casualty, take 2. I almost died. It was fucking amazing. That was my Beatles. That's when it ended for me. There ain't no other group in the world that's gonna do it. That popped my cherry. The political, they should have stayed like that. Just the political, they might as well have had, but they wouldn't. What they should have had, swastikas and sickles and hammers, and just, it couldn't get any more of a vicious rape. It was, you had the Summer of Sam back then. You had, the earth was riddled with wickedness then, and that was the right time. It, it was a 70s retrospective on the decade before. Just you see how fucking, yeah. And it gives you an insight as to what the artist was thinking, because when you listen to Bullet and you look at them in the back cover, and they're like, "See no evil, speak no hero, hear no evil." They're like that. I mean, that's a dead giveaway. But it sounds like Glenn is. It does sound like music written by a rapist. It has rapist like, which is cool with me because that's, every man has that predator quality in him, and it touches really hard on that. And that's a time in your life when he was writing that you would feel those things. I'm coming in your home. I'm coming in your hole. I can just reach out and pluck you out of a crowd anytime that I want you. Yeah, it's like that.